So I'm in Porto, Portugal. We've been on the boat for about 9 days now, and the first 3 days were just an absolutely insane 72 hours of getting things packed away and figuring out how all the systems of the boat work and all that. And then 3 solid days of very intense sailing across the Bay of Biscay, usually 20 knots or more, kind of at all times. Really tested a lot of the systems and the people, and it's very uncomfortable to start, but then we kind of got dialed in. Now I'm in Porto, Portugal. We hadn't necessarily intended to come here originally, but we decided to go ahead and round Cape Finisterre while we had good weather, or strong weather, that was behind us instead of pushing us on the nose. And then made our way down the Spanish coast and then Portuguese coast. Got hailed on the radio by another pogo owner. We're going to stop in a small fishing village, but their docks were all messed up and damaged, and so we ended up not doing that. And so then we ended up coming to Porto. And Porto's a big city. I think it's the second largest city in Portugal, might be the third. And there's this bridge behind me that's kind of really big, really epic. And the main city is over there, but then we're in Douro, which is the town, it's like hundreds of years old little fishing village. This building right here behind me is that's the washing place. It's like a big stone basin with like so people can just come hand wash all their clothes, and then they have like a place to dry them right here with hang them in the sun. And this is how a lot of the people in the village actually clean their clothes in 2021. It's kind of like mind-blowing. And then in like the old town area there, which is most of this little village, there's just these amazing like barbecue restaurants where they just like have these huge grills. It's just big metal pans really with charcoal, and they just cook whatever fish. And then last night we went to a higher end version of that, where Brian, for his birthday, and Brian, they said, well, would you like to pick a fish? And so Brian went and picked a fish, and they cooked the whole fish and served it to us. And then they put together a whole set of appetizers and everything. I ordered wine, and then the guy came over and was like, no, you're wrong wine. You're going to get this instead. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. He was right. It was great. Oh, the other thing that happened yesterday is just spent a ton of time on the last few things. The Sightsee, which is our hydro generator that generates power while we're moving through the water under sail, should be really powerful and really sort of free us from having to ration our electricity. And since everything on the boat has been designed around electricity, as opposed to so cooking is electrical, and we can turn salt water into fresh water with electrical, and we have heat that's electrical. We have all these different things that are electrical with really big lithium batteries. And a lot of that was just to save weight by not having propane tanks and not having all these separate systems. But the linchpin of the whole thing is we need to be able to generate power while at sea. And that device, the hydro generator, is called by a brand name called Watt and C. Couldn't get it to work, and it worked when they handed the boat over, but it immediately stopped working once I took ownership. And a little bit disjointed here, but the sun's coming up behind this village behind me. It's just gorgeous out here with all the dirty laundry, like people's drawers hanging in the sun. This is weird. It's a weird place. It's wonderful. But I got that hydro generator to work yesterday. And it was literally like I had to open up like circuit boards, and like I finally found a wire that was disconnected that clearly should have been connected. And so I was like, well, I hope this is it. Plugged it in. There it did. It worked. For all of my master's degrees in electrical engineering and computer science from MIT, ultimately it was hope and pray that this wire goes here when I just plugged it in, because I just didn't have the patience to go tracing a circuit diagram, and I was like, this looks like it's going to be right, and it worked. So that was probably the last major project that I really had to do. And so we're going to just take another day here in Porto and just enjoy the town. Part of this is supposed to be the joy and excitement of going to all these new places, and so we're going to do that. We're going to just enjoy the day today instead of rushing on to the next place. So there's really no boat projects to do today. I'm looking to take advantage of some little electric scooters and like zipping around. Woo! And then next to this old town, just point this out real quick. Next to this old town is this marina, which is incredibly modern. Like they have everything. It's, you know, they have obviously the dock slips and everything like that. But even like the docks are actually pretty advanced. They did some really interesting things with the docks. Got to get through this nest of drying lines. It's really funny seeing people's underwear just hanging out. I can't get through. I'm trapped. It's all right. Become a better navigator since starting this journey. The other thing is this marina here and is just outstanding. The woman who welcomed us, Cecilia, was one of the friendliest people I've ever met. She was so excited for us to see her town and gave us a discount and like was just really very friendly and pointed out all the things we could go do and see. There's a chandlery that has like all the engine and electrical part. There's a sail maker here, and there's a little stream coming down from the hills in Douro. And then the town right above Douro, I think, is called Gaia. And these cute little houses, like even up here you can see there's this yellow house here, which is like it's sort of this traditional, it's probably been there for 100 years or 200 years. And then there's this really modern architecture right here that's really beautiful as well. It's all smashed up together. It works somehow in a way that sometimes the old and new getting smashed together doesn't quite work. I think after this I'm going to head over to the bread market and the fresh fruit market, stock up a little bit for tomorrow. Since the very first start of this trip, first started planning almost a year and a half ago when I got the crew involved. I started about 2 years ago with 2.5 years ago with the boat build. But a year and a half ago when the crew all started getting committed to going, Beck was just like, we just have to go to Nazaré. I've always wanted to go to Nazaré. She wants to go there because it's like this amazing surfing mecca where they have like 100-foot waves, which is not the kind of thing that like as the captain of the boat, I want to go do. Like I don't want to surf down 100-foot waves on a sailboat. I have to figure this out in the next hour or two. So I guess I'm not quite done with the projects. Anyway, this has been amazing. I just, of course, just had a double espresso and a cheese scone at a delightful little cafe in Portugal. It's great here. That's all I have to say about it. I think we're gonna go over into the main town in about an hour or so. Well, we'll probably get brunch and slow roll it actually. Now I think about it. And yeah, more to come. Some more intense sailing starting tomorrow, but today is a day of relaxing and having a good time.